Hello everyone, my name is Corintius Odi. I'm from English Literature C24 and I would like to present a poem titled The Bean Eaters by Gwendolyn Brooks. And in this presentation, I will explain the genre, the tone, and the approach used to analyze this poem, as well as the meaning behind it. This poem tells a story of an old couple who live a very simple and quiet life, like you all see in this slide. This is a complete poem of it. They eat beans almost every day, live in a small rented room, and spend their time doing simple routines. And at first, the poem may seem very ordinary, but actually it has deeper meaning about life, aging, and memory. It shows how people continuing living even when their life is no longer exciting like us. And the next one is I'm gonna talk about the genre of this poem. So the genre of this poem is actually a lyric form. A lyric form usually expresses personal feelings like emotions or thoughts, and it focuses on specific moments rather than telling a long story. So in this poem, the writer does not tell a big event, but instead shows a small moment in the daily life of the old couple. And for example, the line, "They eat beans mostly," shows their simple daily routine, and "to have lived their day" suggests that they are already old and have passed their base time. And these two lines shows emotion and reflections, which are the characters of lyric form. We'll go to the next slide. The next slide is about tone of the poem. The tone of the poem is actually calm, reflective, and kind of slightly sad. It feels calm because the poem describes everyday life in a quiet and simple way. There's no conflict, there's no problem, there's no dramatic event. It is reflective because it makes us think about the past, about growing old, and about the nostalgic. And it is slightly sad because it shows that the couple's life is now really very insanely routine, and their best day are behind them. And for example, the phrase "plain and creaking wood" creates an image of something old and worn out, and the lines "they lived their day" shows that they have already experienced their prime in life. So overall, the tone is peaceful but also a little emotional. The next one, I'm gonna talk about the approach of the poem. So the approach that I use in this analysis is a social approach. This approach focuses on how literature reflects real life in society. In this poem, we can see how some elderly people live in simple conditions, possibly with limited money or resources, but they could live in a small rented room filled with everyday items, which shows their economic situation. Even though their life is not luxurious, they continue their daily routines and stay together. And this reflects reality because many older people in society live quietly like this. And the meaning of this poem is actually about the poem that life does not have to be exciting or luxurious to have meaning. Even a simple life can be meaningful. So the old couple that lived in this poem could not have much, but they still live, remember their past, and continue their routines. And this poem also reminds us about aging and how people change over time. In the end, it tells us that every day is important, and even small moments in life matter. And that's all for my presentations. Thank you for your attentions.